and welcome back to another video. Today going to be running through all the cars we know after the Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown head-to-head trailer, which was recently unveiled, as well as some guesses based on the keys that were spotted during this video, as well as on some other information. So I'm going to start with what we already know from the original trailer, then go over what I think some of the keys are from that shot in the trailer, then go to the full car list so far of cars that are pretty much confirmed based on those trailers. Then we'll go to some seen and confirmed brands, which don't necessarily have specific models, as well as some other things spotted and other vehicles that will potentially be in the game, but aren't 100% confirmed. They're more guesses, well, educated guesses based on the trailers at this point. So let's start with what we already know from the first trailer, which was quite a number of months ago now. We obviously saw the Apollo IE in modelling, Bugatti Chiron in the trailer itself, the Dodge Challenger in a model car and poster in the background, Ferrari 488 as a model car in the background, Koenigsegg Agera in the credits, I think it was, in the licensing, so some form of Agera, Koenigsegg Regera seen in the licensing and in the trailer, Lamborghini Diablo seen in the trailer, Porsche 918 seen in the trailer and poster, Porsche 911 seen in the license, and some form of Cayenne seen in the license. Ferrari license was already seen, but not any specific models. And that was all we knew after the first trailer, as well as one mystery car in the back of the garage that nobody seems to have been able to identify yet. So that's what we knew already from the previous trailer. And then, yeah, obviously in this trailer, the head-to-head trailer, we had the Range Rover SVR and the Aston Martin DB11 quite prominently in the trailer as cars themselves, but we also had that shot of the box of keys. So I've got a couple of images from that, as well as an image of the keys on the antlers in the other character's house. So yeah, a lot of keys were shown, and some have been identified very quickly, but I've spent some time trying to figure out what some of the other ones are that we only have partial pictures of, some of them more difficult than others. So I'm going to be flipping between the two images of the boxes of keys, but we're going to go row by row, starting in the top corner and working our way along. So the very, very top left is very dark and it's not very defined, even if you enlarge it and brighten it and everything. So the only thing that's big and dark like that is the Tesla Model S key, which is the shape of a Tesla Model S, basically, but that could just be me thinking that because it's a very dark corner and it's hard to see at all. So I'm really not very sure on that one, but that's where we're going to start, in that top corner. Moving along one, we think this is possibly some kind of General Motors key. Chevrolet, James pointed this out to me, thinks it's possibly some kind of Chevrolet key, which could possibly be a Camaro. It can't be a Corvette because of the shape of the key, although I'm still unsure on this one. I originally thought it was like the shape of the back of a Porsche key, which is another possibility. But yeah, these two really dark and very difficult to kind of get an idea of what the key would look like. The third one on the top row is more clear and more defined, and this one's been really bugging me because I've been searching pretty much every brand of key I can think of, and it looks familiar to me, so I'm sure it's something obvious. So if you know what this one is, please do comment below what you think it is. Because, yeah, either it's something super exclusive or a concept or something that there just aren't really images of the keys for, so something quite unusual, or it's not. It doesn't look that spectacular, so it's probably something obvious that I'm missing. So yeah, do let me know if you know what that one is. I've spent many hours searching for that with no luck. Fourth key along on this top row is either a Jaguar or Land Rover key. It's a JLR brand key, so it could be, it can't be the SVR from the trailer, I don't think. We'll come to that in a minute, because I think there's a key for that somewhere else in this box. So I think it could possibly be a Jaguar, because obviously if Land Rover's in the game, it would be odd if Jaguar wasn't. So my best guess for this is that it's an F-Type, but it is definitely a Jaguar or Land Rover key. Next one along from this in the top corner, took me too long to realise this, but it is another Mercedes key, same as the one on the next row, so that's quite obvious. And this key was used during the era of basically SLS and AMG GT, if you're counting Mercedes sort of sports supercars. So it's probably an SLS or an AMG GT. Even the newest AMG GTs use this key because it was the key that was around when the model launched, so they do still use it. So it could be any model of AMG GT or SLS. So that is our top row. The middle row, obviously, there is a Bentley key, and I did look into this. The Bentayga doesn't use this key, so it could be a Mulsanne or a Continental, so it's most likely to be a Continental. Next, the Mercedes key, as I said, SLS or AMG GT. So potentially one of them's an SLS key and one of them's an AMG key. That could be how it's split, we don't know, but two of those. The Bugatti key might, on the surface of it, just look like a Bugatti key. But no, it's in fact a Chiron Sport, more specifically. The Chiron key looks more like this, and the Chiron Sport key looks like this. So, yeah, I think that kind of confirms a second Bugatti in the game, because obviously the Chiron was already previously confirmed. Fourth key on this row, obviously Aston Martin DB11. He picks it up and goes out to get the Aston Martin. That's quite obvious. Next key on this row, a Lamborghini. Obviously older Diablo previously confirmed, but this is a newer key. And yeah, that is the second row, although actually in this shot, sort of, when we pan away from the box of keys, there's another Ferrari key spotted further along this row. So there's at least two Ferraris in this game, two keys spotted in the box. And that is all we see from the middle row. The bottom row, that very bottom corner key, a lot of people were saying Nissan, some people were saying SVR, but I've zoomed right in on it and turned the brightness up and fiddled about with the image a bit, and I'm pretty sure that is an SVR logo. Looking closer, if it was a Nissan, it wouldn't be a GTR, it would be a 370 or 400, but it's the wrong shaped key, I think, for that. And yeah, like I say, in this edited version of the image, that you can clearly see the SVR logo, so I think that is in fact more likely than some of the other suggestions for that key. Second one along is quite clearly a Ferrari key. Again, we don't know which, we just know it's not from the two newest models, not from the Roma or the SF90, because they use a Ferrari badge as a key. So it's not those, but we know it's another Ferrari, so potentially two different Ferraris. Third key along here is a new Audi key, potentially an R8, but could be any new Audi. Fourth along is another Lamborghini, so that makes me think maybe one V10 car and one V12 car. We don't know, but at least two modern Lamborghinis spotted during this trailer. Well, keys, so I'm assuming they're different cars. Then next along from this is an older Audi key, so I'm thinking this is most likely to be a Gen 1 R8. I can't think why you'd add an older, an Audi that's sort of that era, when you've got the new ones alongside, unless it was an R8. That's the only one that seems kind of exotic or interesting enough to add, so that's potentially that. On the deer antlers, sort of in the next shot, we see three keys. One of them is quite obviously a Ferrari, it's easy to spot, it's bright red, so that's the third Ferrari key spotted in trailer, so they're potentially all three different models. I'm thinking that's what that is a clue to. To the left of the deer's head is potentially a 911 key. Again, this photo is even lower definition because I had to zoom in even more to see this, so we really don't know. And the third key, the other side, my initial thought was it was a side profile of a Koenigsegg key, but I'm really not sure. I think BMW key also has a similar profile on the side where it sort of cuts in at the top, so it could potentially be those, but we just don't know. It's not a very clear image. So, that's what we've figured out from the box of keys and what we already knew from the original trailer. Now it's time to move on to the full car list so far. So these are the ones that are pretty much definitely confirmed, based on keys that are for specific models and things cars actually spotted. So I will move on later to things that are less definite, but I think we can say pretty much for sure we'll be getting an Apollo IE, because it was spotted in modelling, an Aston Martin DB11 spotted in the head-to-head trailer, Bugatti Chiron from the first trailer, Chiron Sport based on the key in the second trailer, Dodge Challenger based on the model car in the first unveiling, 488 again a model car, Koenigsegg Agera in the licensing, some kind, we don't know exactly which one, Koenigsegg Regera spotted in the first trailer, Lamborghini Diablo spotted in the first trailer, Range Rover SVR spotted in the head-to-head trailer, Porsche 911 spotted in the first trailer's licensing, we don't know exactly which one. Porsche 918 spotted in the first trailer, and Porsche Cayenne spotted in the licensing, again we don't know which one. So those are the only ones that are kind of definite. So I'm going to move on now to confirmed brands. Some of these were in the confirmed models list, but some of these aren't. They're just, we don't know which models we're getting. So the confirmed brands are Apollo, Aston Martin, Audi, Bentley, Bugatti, Dodge, Ferrari, Jaguar Land Rover, Koenigsegg, Lamborghini, Mercedes, and Porsche. So some of them we have specific models, some of them we only have the brands. So that is what we have so far in terms of brands in the game. It's not a bad start, got quite a number of quite varied car manufacturers there. So finally we move on to other things, other car predictions I have based on the keys, my best guesses based on the keys and some of the other information. But these are purely speculation, they are not confirmed in any way. So the new Audi key I think is most likely a new R8. The old Audi key I think is most likely a Gen 1 R8, based on that era of key. The Bentley is most likely a Continental, we know it's not a Bentayga. Mulsanne seems unlikely. Possible General Motors key, we really don't know if that is the key that it is, but it's our best guess at this point. Best guess, if it is a General Motors key, is a Chevrolet, potentially a Camaro. Ferrari license plus 3 sets of Ferrari keys spotted in the trailer means it could be, we already know the 488, but we could potentially already also see a Portofino, GTC Lusso, F8 or 812. They're the sort of newest cars that still use that type of key. The Roma and SF90 do not. They use a newer key, so it's not either of those. Not to say they won't be in the game, but so far we haven't seen anything to suggest they will be. The Jaguar Land Rover second key I think is most likely an F-Type, because we already have a Land Rover, or the Range Rover SVR key in the box. So I think the second key is most likely a Jaguar, most likely an F-Type. Again, we don't know, but that is my best guess. For Lamborghini, 2 keys were spotted from the current generation cars, so I'm thinking potentially one Aventador model and one Huracan. If you're a car collector, you'd have one V10 Lamborghini, one V12 Lamborghini, I think, rather than having 2 of the same engine, effectively. So I think it's most likely they're 2 different engined cars, so I think one V10 car, one V12. Potentially, we don't know, we just know there's going to be at least 2 new Lamborghinis plus the Diablo, I think, in the game. The Mercedes key, like I said earlier, isn't the newest model, and 2 keys were spotted. We know it's not a McLaren Mercedes, because that uses an even older generation of key, and we know it's not anything new, because it uses the newer key. So I think it's most likely an SLS of some form and an AMG GT of some form. Could be 2 types of AMG GT, we don't know. But yeah, that key was used, I believe, on all AMG GTs and will be on every model, including the GTR Pro, because that was the one available when the car launched, the original model. So I think it's probably an SLS or an AMG GT, which is good. I do like both of those. That's all based on the keys, I think. Obviously, we saw an electric car charger in the background of the head-to-head trailer, and no keys were confirmed or really likely to be that. There could be a Model S key potentially in that top corner, we don't know, but that's kind of my best guess at the moment, but I don't think it is. I think it's unlikely. Tesla haven't been in any games, I don't think, since Horizon 3, so I find it odd that they would come back, but maybe we are getting some Teslas in this game. We don't know, but it could be any other electric car that charger is a hint to. We just know we're getting some. So that one I'm not too sure about at all. That's kind of very much a guess. And finally, we have obviously the mystery car from the first trailer. We still don't know what it is. It's been suggested to me that it's possibly an F40 or an F50, sort of pointy-nosed red Ferrari. Some kind of Group B car, because it's got a really short nose. But I find that kind of unlikely, because it was all supercars in that garage. Or, I think the best guess so far, a Zenvo of some form. But like I say, very hard to tell. Such a small part of the car, really out of focus. So we really don't know. But yeah, that's my best guesses of things that could potentially be in, as well as running through the list of cars that are definitely, well, pretty much definitely confirmed for the upcoming game. So yeah, like I say, that one key that I didn't know what it was, do let me know in the comments if you think you know what it is, and I'll look into it and see if we can figure out what that final key is. But yeah, so far, not a bad looking list. Quite a number of cars confirmed one way or another through actually seeing them, all the keys. Quite a number of confirmed brands, and a lot of, well, a lot of stuff we can speculate based on the other keys, but we don't quite know. But yeah, I do hope that's been useful. If you didn't know some of the stuff that was spotted, or you find it interesting to know which cars are coming up, possibly in the upcoming game. But yeah, we're going to hear more news in July, as it said at the end of the head-to-head trailer, so I look forward to that. Hopefully we can confirm some more details on cars, or get more informed information about location or something, who knows. But really looking forward to hearing more in July, and of course for the game releasing when it does come out. So yeah, do let me know if you've enjoyed this video, sort of talking about games rather than my usual challenges and stuff, because I do enjoy looking up information to do with these games, and have a few more ideas of things we can research into about the upcoming test drive, and put together some information for you about. But yeah, that is going to be all for today's video, running through the confirmed cars for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, as well as some predictions and other details about manufacturers and stuff that we might see. So yeah, that is going to be all for this video, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll be back with the next video very soon.